If you have good taste in superhero shows, you like Young Justice just like me. Why is Young Justice Season 1 so good and underrated? Young Justice wasn't just another superhero show. It told a mature and more grounded story, focusing on the sidekicks, proving that they're more than just backups for their heroes. Today, I want to break down why I think Season 1 of Young Justice is so good and it still holds up to this day compared to other shows. You know, one of the things that I think makes the show work so well is how, when you're watching, you can relate to the main characters being underestimated by the main heroes. When I first watched the show, I was in high school and I was around the same age of some of the main characters, and I definitely related to the feeling of being underestimated by either my parents or like the authority figures in your life. And it's a coming of age story wrapped in a covert spy mission show. They go from being underestimated as sidekicks to their main heroes, to becoming heroes of their own. Even just inside Season 1, they get their own layer to do their missions. The Justice League starts treating them as actual heroes, and every time they go on a mission, they prove themselves. And like I said, it's a coming of age story. They have all these cool storylines that really progresses each character's development throughout the season. The second thing that I think makes the show work so well in the first season is how it's a very tight friend group. They start out with very different personalities. They all have their own personalities, their own character development, and it really feels like a natural progression in their friend group. One of the storylines that really stands out to me is the storyline with Kid Flash, when he feels the FOMO from not being able to go into this really cool mission with the Justice League, and he gets a job to bring a heart transplant to the little princess. And at first, he's upset that he can go on the cool mission, but then he sees the value on what he's doing. And that's one of the episodes that always stands out to me when watching the show. That one, and also when the episode that we get some character development and like some backstory with Robin and the circus. Those episodes were one of my favorite episodes of the show. I mean, the season has so many good episodes, and for one season, you're spending like 20-something episodes with the same characters. You create a bond with them. I don't want to speak too much about the other seasons because this video is mainly about Season 1. But I think the Season 1 is different from the other seasons in the quality because of that. Because of how you spend 20-something episodes with this tight friend group instead of like a huge bunch of characters. I want to talk again about the team dynamic because each member brings something different to the table. For example, Robin is a strategist, but he's still in training because he's still maturing. Kid Flash, he's the comedic relief, very charismatic and energetic, but he still has his serious moments in the show. Aqualad, super unexpected good leader. I didn't know who he was until I watched the show. Superboy, he's just an identity crisis walking around. He's learning who he is and what it means to be human. Miss Martian, you get that very innocent vibe, but you know that she has her own secrets laying underneath all of that. And Artemis, you get very sketchy vibes, like she's maybe like a double agent or something like that. And then the team is learning how to trust her as the show goes, and some characters take longer to trust her than others, And their personalities, they clash as real teenagers would clash, The show does a good job establishing how some of the characters already know each other from before the first episode. For example, the show establishes that Kid Flash and Robin are already friends before the show. And they have this whole vibe of bros growing up together, They have this really cool best friends dynamic going on. And you get to see that friendship grow as the show progresses. At the end of the day, the show does a really good job highlighting each character's strengths and imperfections, and how both of those things play into their team dynamic, and how they dealing with each other's imperfections as a team, and how at first they start clashing with each other, but then they learn how to deal with each other and use each other's strengths to the benefit of the group and becoming a friend group and a team. But this is my video about Young Justice Season 1. I've been wanting to make a video about it because I really like the show, and I know the people that make videos about it, but it's still a very underrated show. So if you like the video, if you watch all the way through, please like and subscribe. It will help me a lot to keep making these videos. Thank you very much.